Welcome to EPG Pathshala. I'm introducing myself as I'm Dr. Tandyani May, Associate Professor, Center for Disability Studies and Action, School of Social Work, Tata Institute of Social Science, Mumbai. Now let us talk about the topic. As a part of the history and ideology of social work, we are focusing on the module number 33, International Social Work Association. But please remember, there is a difference between International Social Worker and International Social Work Association because many people get confused and therefore it becomes a different. Now, when we talk about the International Social Work Association, what is it? What is that? You may know that each profession have association. Same also applicable to social worker also. And therefore they have a local association, state level association, national level association and international level association. In that international level association, for example of that, International Federation of Social Worker or International Association of School of Social Work or International Council on Social Welfare. There are many more international, but we are focused on the 2-3 for detailed information because they contribute well related to the guideline, principle, code of conduct, standards for the social worker, and it is applicable to all countries. And therefore, we are focusing right now to these 3 okay, and we are covering this module as the I already mentioned, standard, principle, and what is the role of this one. Now, what is the objective? By the end of this module, what we will learn? She will learn about International Association, Social Work Association, not International Social Worker. Please try to remember the difference between the 2 points, this one, and what is the definition of the social work, and what is the purpose of that, and what is the principle, standard, and it would help you because it provides direction to practice in more effective way while working in the marginalized population. Okay. Now, let us talk about that one example of the International Social Work Association. That is the International Federation of Social Workers. Now, these are talking about, they have a core value like a social justice, human right, social development. Now, don't worry about that. There is a PPT, you can read all this one. I'm just trying to summarize of each PPT so that it will help you to understand what each slide talks about this one. And they mentioned that they have 100 members of all over the world and they are also connected with United Nations as a consultant. And I also mentioned the website so that you can also go to the website and this one. Second part is that International Association of School of Social Work. Them also quality education, promote the social work. But remember, whatever the association are there are 3 issues. Social work, education, training and research. These 3 main areas any association focus on. And therefore, don't get confusion about the different association. More or less, they have a similar work. This one. And I also gave the website. You can also look at that. This one. Now, what is the definition of the social work? Because each country gives definition of the social work, and it is based on their context, cultures, values, beliefs, socio-economic, political context, and therefore the definition of social work vary from country to country. But the basic principle, core values are same. And therefore, it is also mentioned about international definition of social work like that. Promote social change, problem solving, empowerment of the people who belong to the marginalized and vulnerable group, social work intervention. All these are saying this one. Now, what is the purpose of the social work? Basically, we know that three areas. One is intervention. Second is that developmental project. Third one is preventive. Fourth one is protective. And fifth one is therapeutic. So anywhere you go, the role of the social worker or purpose of the social worker remains same. And based on the core value as a social justice, human dignity and human right, and what to say, this one, sorry, I could not remember this one. They, they use this value as a framework while working in the vulnerable and marginalized population. And therefore, they were social justice, inclusion, and then challenge the barrier, and then educate the people how to utilize the services for this one, or how to formulate policy and program that would be benefit to all kind of the population, and that how to encourage people to form a advocacy, and that how to engage in the political social action to impact on the social life of the people come from the marginalized group, this one. And so that you will get more and less idea about that, more or less it is the same role or purpose of the social worker. Now it is also promote the respect or plan and organize the program. You have to plan the program in such a way that it can benefit to all kind of the vulnerable population. And this is very difficult task because we talked about the diversity within that group. Second one, each individual has a different need, and therefore we have to keep in mind of each individual need, kind of the intervention that each individual require, and therefore we have to plan it in a way that all people will get more benefit of this program. Now, when we talk about this one, we already mentioned value framework. But while working with the people people come from marginalized group, they also adopted international convention. For example of that, Universal Declaration of the Human Rights. It started from 1948 to now, and now you know how the paradigm shift in the field of the social profession from charity to welfare to human right approach. And therefore, that international convention gave strong support to the social worker to practice this one. Or there is also civil and political right, there is the economic, social, cultural right, there is the elimination of the racial discrimination, there is also elimination of the all forms of discrimination. They also talk about the Convention of the Right of the Child. They also talked about the Tribal People Convention. All are international conventions which focus mostly various marginalized population. And therefore, International Social Work Association adopted this convention to as a guideline so that social work can understand its meaning and apply it to the practice one. Now, principle of the human right. Now, when we talk about the principle of that association, there are two principles. One is human right and human dignity. Second is that social justice. When we talk about the human right and human dignity, maybe caste, class, culture, gender, any kind of the marginalized group, for example, tribal, disability, old age, child, whatever it is there. We, the social worker, had to learn how to respect each individual and how to promote dignity for these people. And it is not very easy because what kind of the values, what kind of the ethics we adopted influence our practice while working with the people. And therefore, we are going to discuss about the values and ethics in the later module. But we have to remember that it is not that mere duty. We have to learn how to convert it to the practice. And therefore, this PPT already mentioned very clearly how we can promote human rights and human dignity by participation, self-determination, identify and developing train. You can read all these PPT so that you will get clear picture about that. Now the second principle is about social chanting. Now you know what is the meaning of the social chanting. Maybe oppression, discrimination, negative attitude, all are form of the social exclusion and that create injustice. And it is very difficult to identify where are all kinds of the social injustice occurs in our daily life. We as a social worker have to learn how to identify social injustice, because we may not do deliberately, but it happens accidentally, unconsciously, indirectly, and therefore we have to imbibe this value in ourselves. And therefore, when we talk about the principle of social chanting, we have to first understand where are the negative attitude, where is the discrimination, and how we can remove this barrier. And not only that, we have to recognize the diversity also. Whether the child or whether the adult one, whether the elder one, or with the caste, class, culture, different type of the marginalized, we have to learn how to respect the diversity so that we can practice to offer social chanting to these people. And that, so first one is that understanding discrimination. Second is that about the diversity. Third one about the resources. What kind of the resources available to us? How we can distribute these resources to the equal. Some may get more, some may get less. But we have to justify this. So we have to understand on what basis we are distributing the resources. But we have to try to distribute equally this one. Then what are the law policy program which is again for the welfare of the marginalized people? We have to challenge it by creating the advocacy, by lobby this one, or by open forum this one, or by using the mass media, or by writing the newspaper, or by organizing the people who are affected because of the policy program, and make the government aware about this policy and change the policy, and how to work together for that. And this is very important part of that social chanting, because it looks like a very simple, but it is not simple. And therefore we have to understand how tough job as a social worker has. Now when we talk about the global standard, now what is the standard? This one, this is the rule, this is the behavior, this is what we are supposed to do. This is the instruction guideline it's given for the social worker, and it was developed by International Federation of Social Worker and International Association of School of Social Work. They came together, they did joint initiative effort, and they developed document. And before that, they conducted the conference. They asked many people and organizations to participate for developing document. And therefore, we are using this document. And you can go to the website of the IFS or IIASW, and then you will get clear picture about document. They mention very clearly. And that, then now you may wonder why we need the document. We have an ethic, we have a value, we have a code of ethics, but why we need this one? But there are gaps. Sometimes there are areas which we could not pay attention while developing code of ethics. And therefore, based on the experience in the past, it was fair need to develop the standard for social worker. Now one reason is that we have to protect the client or service user. Why? Sometimes we say that I am a social worker, I know what is the best for you, you have to accept what I say. So we are trying to operate the client. We are trying to pressurize the client to utilize the services. Client may not want, but we are trying to. And therefore, it is important to understand that we have to respect the client at the dignity, self-determination. And therefore, it is mentioned in the standard that we have to protect the client who are the most vulnerable population. Second is that what is the impact of the globalization? We have seen the time change, circumstance change. First it was the technology, now it is the globalization. How it affects and how it can include in the social work curriculum. So remember, when we talk about the standard, it is not that only for the client. We are also talking about the client, we are talking about the social worker, we are talking about the social work student, we are talking about the university who run the social work course, we are also talking about the different stakeholders who are involved in that social work practice. So for all these different stakeholders, we have a standard. And they spell out what we need to do. And therefore it becomes a very clear guideline about this one. And that they have to talk about the university, how to develop the contact and collaborative work between the different university, or how to encourage social worker from one country to another country. Maybe there is an exchange program, maybe there is a dialogue between them, maybe they can get job in another country. That also part of this one. And then one important is that what is the boundary between the social worker and non-social worker? Anybody come and they say that, we are also doing social work. What is that? They don't understand what is the meaning of the social worker. And therefore, it is very important to draw the boundary between the social worker and non-social worker, this one. And that partnership and exchange the program. Maybe international student can come to any other country, staff can come. There are a lot of fellowships are there. And then you can utilize this exchange program to learn how social work practice different from one country to another country based on socio-economic political context, this one. And that it is also important to enable International Federation of Social Workers, International Association of the School of Social Work to develop the guideline to play the facilitation role, and therefore somebody should be there to encourage, to bring all these people together and encourage and facilitate the process. And that is why we require the standard, this one. And now, if you look at the module, there are 8 to 9 modules among the standard. I'm not going to explain everything because each standard has the 8 to 10 sub-theme. And I'm not covering everything here, but you will get a clear picture. Please go back to the, I already mentioned in the reference about the website, so that you will get a clear picture about that what are the documents talked about this one. The first one they talked about the school purpose. When we talk about the school, that what is the interest of the service user? The first one is that client. How to protect the client from pressurized to utilize the services or prevented to utilize the services, or how to encourage the client for the self-determination, how to maintain confidential. All these processes also come. That was the first standard talked about this one. Second, talked about that program. What kind of the program is there? That we as a social worker should develop knowledge, process, value, ethics, and how it apply to practice this one. And therefore, it is also important to understand when you implement the program, you have to consider the economic, political, social, cultural context. And therefore, one program in one country may not be effective for another country. And therefore, we have to keep in mind for. Third one is that curriculum in the field education. Now, as a social worker, all of us know very well that field work is very important. Without field work, we will not learn what is the problem, how to deal the problem solving. And therefore, in that case, what is the curriculum in that field education? How to work with the client, how to involve client in the program planning. So that means it is a partnership approach. It is a trained perspective. We are adopting each one. And second one is that based on the practical experience, how this practical experience can incorporate into the theory one. So it is the theory to practice link, and it is based on the student social worker to client services. Now, another curriculum is there. When you talk, how you develop the curriculum, case work, group work, whatever it is there. So, if you talk about the curriculum development, you have to understand why you are developing this particular curriculum. What is the rationale behind that? How it is connected to the local, state level, national level, global level issue. How to connect theory to practice so that the social worker will get knowledge from that curriculum and will able to apply the practice. So not only the theoretical information, but also what is the method of practice, what are the paradigms, how to understand, to utilize this method. This also important aspect of. The fifth one is that about the professional staff. Who will teach the course? University staff, faculty. What is their role? Not only the teaching the student, but also guiding the fieldwork supervision, or guiding the research, or guiding the recording. There are so many areas there. But not only the teaching part, but they have also to deal with administrative work. They have to deal with the student, partner, professional problem. So how to deal all this work? Sometimes institute policy also affect the faculty, or student partner problem affect the student performance, and that create trouble for the faculty. There are so many issues, and therefore there is also guideline for the university staff or faculty for this one, and that social work student. It is not that responsibility of the faculty to create positive environment for the student. Students have also their own responsibility. So that means they have to learn what is the theoretical input, how to apply it to the field work, how to evaluate your own performance. Sometimes some students say that I know everything. Professor does not know. This is not a way. It would not help to improve your evaluation or your performance. And therefore, students have also responsibility to improve the performance. Another is that administration resourcing. Now, when we talk about the faculty student who did all these situations, university. And therefore, university administration, policy, program, that affect the faculty and student, and therefore there is a coordination or a positive environment between all the three stakeholders to enable positive learning for the student. And that another one is that cultural, ethical, ethnic diversity and gender. Now, why we are talking about the cultural, ethnic and cultural diversity? If you look at an university, many of them come from slum area, many of them come from the upper caste, or many of them come from upper class, or many of them come from the rural area. So there are a lot of diversity. And how to take care of all the diversity and involve all of them in that process. And therefore, we have to make an effort to involve everyone with diverse background into that program, and it is not very easy. And that code of conduct, values and ethics code of conduct, we already mentioned that. What is the value, what is the ethics, we are going to discuss in the next module. And why code of ethics is important? It is also applicable to any social worker across the world. because this code of ethics help the social worker to take action what is the right and how to take correct decision while helping the client, and therefore they also spell out about the code of ethics. Now, when we already discussed about the 8 to 9 standard, it was also found that there is a domination of the Western concept. United Kingdom, USA, Australia, Europe, they have well developed system in case of the social work field, and their experiences are totally different from third world country, and therefore it was felt need that Western concept of social work should not impose on the third world country, and therefore what precaution they took, and it is mentioned in the module this one that, and both are already mentioned very clearly that importance to be given to the diversity like cultural, gender, values, belief, socio-economic, political content, and that and therefore, if you have any question, you are welcome to contact me, or you can go to the reference. I gave the reference to the module, and website is also given so that you will get detailed information. But remember, please, if you feel that this is a boring subject, this is not. If you take some little interest, you will enjoy what is the meaning of each word, because we have a different experience and that guideline help us how to act. Thanks a lot.